Good afternoon and welcome to the 2026 Baccalaureate and Hooding Ceremony at Brevard College. It is our honor to be with all of you this afternoon as we celebrate these candidates for graduation. Today's ceremony holds a special and unique significance to our community as we come together first for a traditional baccalaureate service, which is common throughout the higher education world. And then we will follow that with the presentation of academic hoods to both our undergraduate and graduate students. As you will hear later, the hooding tradition goes back hundreds of years around the world. And for us at Brevard College, it represents a key component of our academic philosophy that community and connection are vital to the sharing of knowledge. We see this every day on our campus, most powerfully in the relationships built between our students and our faculty and staff members. To begin our service and ceremony, I will offer a short blessing. O great one whose breath gives life to the world and whose voice is heard in the soft breeze, we need your strength and wisdom as we stand on the edge of graduation. Cause us to walk in beauty. Give us the eyes ever to behold the red and purple sunset. Make us wise so that we may understand what you have taught us. Help us learn the lessons you have hidden in every leaf and mountain, every class and experience, and make us always ready to come to you with clean hands and steady eyes. Amen.
Be seated. A reading from Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 through 10. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on the mountainside, and after he sat down and the disciples had gathered round, Jesus began to teach them. Blessed are those who are poor in spirit, the kingdom of heaven is theirs. Blessed are those who are mourning, they will be consoled. Blessed are those who are gentle, they will inherit the land. Blessed are those whose hunger and thirst for justice, they will have their fill. Blessed are those who show mercy to others, they will be shown mercy. Blessed are those whose hearts are clean, they will see God. Blessed are those who work for peace, they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of their struggle for justice. The kingdom of heaven is theirs.
Each year, we recognize one faculty member with the Exemplary Teacher Award. The recipient must demonstrate excellence in teaching, civility and concern for students and colleagues, commitment to value-centered education, and outstanding service to students, the institution, and the community. This award is given each year to an exceptional, non-tenured faculty member who represents all of these qualities. This year's recipient will be joining a distinguished group of faculty. At this time, I would like to recognize all of the past recipients of this award that are still members of Brevard College. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing until everyone's name has been called so that we may recognize all of you as a group, which includes me, Jennifer Frick Rupert, Jennifer Kafsky, Betsy Burrows, Cameron Austin, Kyle Lusk, Catherine Gresham, Robert Dye, Catherine Rasmussen, Andrea Bacampuso, Hernan Biava, Sarah Mavidi, Allison O'Leary, Rachel Hillier, Lisa Boucher, and Stacy Workman. Our tradition is to recognize the recipient of this prestigious award at this baccalaureate ceremony where they address the graduating class. This year's recipient has built community within his classes, his program, and in the wider Brevard community as a whole. He has recruited new members to join his groups and has retained others by increasing both the rigor of the program and the support he provides the participants. He has a knack for giving students the courage to move outside their comfort zone, even as he cheerfully prods them to achieve excellence. He readily takes on any challenge and gives his students the confidence to accept new challenges as well. For his excellence in the classroom and on the podium, his support of students and faculty alike, and his genuine care for those in his classes, please join me in congratulating Brevard College's 2025-2026 Exemplary Teacher, Dr. Cole Hairston.
Hello, students, parents, faculty, and staff. It is an honor to be here today and to speak with you as you finish your time at Brevard College. You've spent approximately 4 years here building relationships with one another, the faculty and staff, and the greater Western North Carolina community. You've taken classes, participated in athletics, complained about the food, joined a club, discovered a new passion, created experiences that will stay with you for the rest of your life. And so I say congratulations. Congratulations on getting to today and achieving this milestone. But I have to admit, hearing people congratulate me when I graduated from college kind of bothered me. Maybe it was just me, but I swear they all looked at me confused and shocked and didn't know what else to say. Even my own mom did this. Meanwhile, I'm thinking to myself, did you not think I was going to make it? This stuck with me while I was teaching high school, and it was only during my graduate degrees that I came to a better understanding of what everyone meant when they said congratulations. They were congratulating not just you and your accomplished degree, but a life in the process of being well-lived. They were celebrating a time that is coming to a close, and they were celebrating the nervous excitement about what is to come next. So today, I would like to take the briefest of moments to reflect on how many of you may be feeling at the moment and what some of those complex emotions mean. You're done. As of tomorrow, you will officially be a Brevard College graduate. And with that realization, I know, I feel the clapping. With that realization, I know many of you are experiencing a myriad of emotions. Of course, there's excitement, pride, joy, relief, an intense desire for your favorite snack and a nap. But I imagine there is also a sadness a feeling of loss, unease about the future, and a desire to stay in Brevard, a place that has become so familiar over these last few years. Great theater and storytelling utilize these same opposites. We only feel joy because we have known sadness. We only feel love because we have been lonely. It only hurts to leave Brevard College because you have experienced such a feeling of connection with this place. I have the joy of teaching music here on campus, and one of the reasons I believe so much in the art of making music is that it is ephemeral. You get one chance to perform that music with those people in that space. Once that performance has come and gone, it will never occur again. And for me, that is what has given it meaning. The art of doing and being present in our world is the opportunity presented to every one of us. I hope you think back on your time at Brevard College and think about how present and engaged you were. Those memories are what will bring you momentary sadness, but I am here to ask you to cherish that sadness. Hold tightly to the love that you have for this place and these people, because it is a reminder of the profound joy you have been through. It was actually a quote from The Office, from the final season, that helped me contend with all of those emotions that I was feeling. Andy Bernard is reflecting on seeing his old coworkers, and he says, "I wish there was a way to know that you're in the good old days before you've actually left them." I'm forced to remember the good old days because my college roommate is sadly no longer with us. I remember rooming with him for 3 years, during which time we won video game tournaments, played way too much ping pong, found excuses to go eat at Cookout at 1:30 a.m., and played disc golf at sunrise. My heart aches with the knowledge that I will never again reminisce with him about those times, but I will cherish every memory that I have with him. While your good old days at Brevard College are in fact now behind you, I challenge you to think about your next step in life, whatever that may be, and to realize that soon too those will turn into the good old days. Live every season of your life so that when you later look back, you will always think, that is a moment that I will cherish forever. Like music, life is ephemeral, and what a beautiful gift we have received to be here today in this place with these people. I would like to leave you with a poem, O Me, O Life, by Walt Whitman, as he explores what we've considered today. O me, O life, of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, of myself forever reproaching myself, for who more foolish than I, and who more faithless? Of eyes that vainly crave the light, of the objects mean, of the struggle ever renewed, of the poor results of all, of the plodding and the sordid crowds I see around me, of the empty and useless years of the rest, with the rest me intertwined. The question, O me, so sad recurring, what good amid these, O me, O life? Answer, that you are here, that life exists, an identity, that the powerful play goes on, and that you may contribute a verse. Thank you all very much, and well done, Brevard College students.
A reading from Philippians chapter 4, verses 8 through 9. Finally, my sisters and brothers, your thoughts should be wholly directed to all that is true, all that deserves respect, all that is honest, pure, decent, admirable, virtuous, or worthy of praise. Live according to what you have learned and accepted, what you have heard me say and seen me do. Then will God of peace be with you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm glad you're here. Are you glad you're here? I just need to make sure I'm in the right place. In the Jewish and Christian tradition, there is a sacred story of two gentlemen named Elijah and Elisha. It's a story of transition as Elijah is about to make his way off the stage, and Elijah is about to make his way on the stage. Elijah is the teacher. He's the professor. He's the leader. He's the one who has been around showing his student Elisha how it's done. And Elisha has watched this gentleman lead him, teach him, walk with him for 6 years. Now, when I was a student at Brevard College, I did it in 5. I was on a 5-year plan. I watched for 5 years. Elisha was there for 6 years, watching his mentor, watching his teacher, watching his leader show him how it was done. But the story tells us that there was a space of transition. Elijah was moving off the scene, and Elisha knew it. And before he leaves, Elijah asks his student, "Is there anything that you want from me? Is there anything that I can do for you as I leave this space and you inhabit the spaces that I stand in?" And Elisha says to his teacher, his professor, his mentor, "I just want a double portion of what you have." Can I ask you to do me a favor? When you get out of these robes and when you get your degree, can you ask for things that money cannot buy? There's going to be some times you're going to look for all the money you can have, the best car you can have, but you should learn the secret of some things is learning to figure out what you want that money cannot buy. Elisha says, "I want a double portion of what you have. I've been walking with you. I've been listening to you. I've seen what you can do. And whatever you do, I want to do exactly that." That he surrounded himself with someone who showed him that there is something great about being great. That there is something like solving problems. That there's something greater than just being normal. That you can be extraordinary. It is in that space that he asks that in a blink of an eye, he's gone. Elijah is off the scene. Elisha is still there. And Elisha is filled with sadness because his mentor, his leader, has left. Just like tomorrow, when you walk across the stage, you heard Dr. Harrison, you're going to have a good time. You're going to smile. You're going to behave, I hope. You're going to walk across the stage. You're going to do all these great things. But there will be a place in some of us that realizes you cannot go back to being what you were. That things change. The space change. You become alumni. And sometimes you can drop a tear. And you can also say, "Yes, I'm filled with sadness. I'm happy that I got here, but I'm sad that my friends aren't here with me. I'm glad that I got my degree, but it doesn't feel right being in a space that I don't know anymore. With a job, I don't yet know what I have. And I'm tired of people asking me what's next." That sounds familiar? I don't know. It's in that space that he has these questions. Elisha is filled with questions. He is wondering, what in the world do I do? And it is in that moment after his mentor is taken away that he looks on the ground and he sees a mantle. A simple garment, kind of like what you got on over your clothes. He sees it on the ground and he picks it up. a simple garment. He strikes the ground, and this river parts way. I can tell you, you might not feel like you have much. You might feel like you just have a college degree. You might not know what's next. You might not know what the next step is. You might not know who to talk to or how to do it. You might even have a tear in your eye. But I implore you to look at what's right in front of you. Pick up the mantle that is you and watch miracles unfold. We don't need anyone else to show up in your place. We don't need you to be someone else. But if you discover how to be fully you and stand in that, you'll see some doors open that you can't imagine. You'll see some steps that you couldn't even envision coming. And with all of your uncertainty, with all the fear in the world, you can still do magical things. I was sitting with my son a couple of weeks ago. My son is 9 years old. Some people call him an old man because of the way he talks. I was sitting there, I was talking to him, and he didn't want to do something. He didn't want to move. And he looked at me and he said, "Daddy, I'm not moving." And I looked at that 9-year-old boy and I said, "Oh?" And he looked at me as if he was talking from the wisdom of the world, and he said, "Daddy, I'm not moving." And I said, "Son, if you don't move." And he looked at me with this smile on his face, and he said, "I'm not moving." And he didn't move. His little friend came over and tried to get him to play, and he looked at his friend. He said, "I told my daddy I'm not moving," and he made a riddle out of it. "I'm not moving, Daddy, I'm not moving, I'm not moving." I said, "Okay, son, I get it." He planted his feet in the ground. He put his head up. And he told everyone else, "I'm standing here because this is the place I need to be in." And when he stood there, everyone understood what he meant. If a 9-year-old can stand in a place and take his space and know what he wants in that moment, I challenge you, as you step forward into your future, as you face tomorrows that you don't fully know, as you listen to people tell you what you should do and shouldn't do, as you ask yourself, what in the world should I do? As if you look at yourself as if you lost your last mind, I want you to stand up and take your place. Be you and watch some magic happen. I promise you this world needs some magic. Not normalcy. Well, no, I can say the world needs some normalcy. But show us how it's done. Stick your chest out, lift your head up. And if you don't know, that's okay. But take your place. Because we need it. You don't need to be like any of them, or them, or this. What we need you to be is you. As Elisha took his space, he stepped into the unknown. He parted waters. And there was a crowd of people that walked up to him. And they were amazed by what he had done. If you do this thing right, if you learn how to be authentically yourself, people will come to you as well. And they will wonder, how in the world did you do what you've done? You become the magic in the moment. And you show us how it's done. So my word for you today is this. Take your place. Stick your chest out, lift your head up, and watch magic happen. And the best is yet to come.
Graduates, I now invite you to join me in a litany for baccalaureate. We will read responsively. You will find your part in bold font in your program. Throughout our collective human history, even as generations, times, and eras change, we are each called upon to contribute to this world. As faculty, staff, coaches, and others, we have done our best faithfully to carry out our responsibilities of leadership, in particular, in passing on our gifts of teaching, mentorship, and support. At Brevard College, our motto is learn in order to serve.
In your program, you will find a detailed description of the significance of the academic regalia being worn by the faculty, staff, and students today. In particular, there is a description of the academic hood worn around the neck and down the back. Today, in our hooding ceremony, we will be awarding academic hoods to our graduating students. Our hooding ceremony recalls a tradition that dates back to medieval Europe, in which faculty place the academic hood over the head of the student, signifying a student's success in completing an academic program. At Brevard College, the student chooses a faculty or staff member for the honor of hooding them during this ceremony. This ceremony is the first step in recognizing a student's completion of the Brevard College degree, with the official conferring of the degree occurring during the commencement ceremony tomorrow morning. In addition to this traditional symbolic meaning of achievement, at Brevard College, the hooding ceremony recognizes the personal mentoring relationship between students, faculty, and staff that is at the heart of a Brevard College education. Our soon-to-be graduates will process onto the stage in groups of 3 as I call their name. I will also call out the name of the faculty or staff member the student has chosen to hood them. Faculty and staff, when you hear your name, please join the candidate at the foot of the stage and complete the hooding ceremony. Audience, please hold your applause until the 3 names have been read for each group. We will begin our hooding ceremony with those students who are candidates for a master's degree, the highest degree awarded by Brevard College. Will the first row of students please stand and come forward? Kelsey Lynn Akers, hooded by Quentin Overocker. Tristan Baysad, hooded by Michael Lamy. Esteban Berto, hooded by Debbie Dana. Alexis Nicole Bowman, hooded by Jernelle Radford. Kelly Grady Brown, hooded by Chad Holt. Leonardo Consencio Zebu Lopez, hooded by Michael Lamy. Elise Denise Lacerda Lobato, hooded by Juan Mascaro Jr. Carson Julian Evans, hooded by Lee Burgess. Joshua Edward Fitzgerald, hooded by Heather Cobb. Lena Morgan Hatter, hooded by Debbie Dana. Melinda Gennaro, hooded by Alicia Gennaro. Roy Hayim Kadar, hooded by Michael Lamy. Alexander Meshri, hooded by Michael Lamy. Daniel James Morgan, hooded by Scott Douglas. Charles Edward Odom II, hooded by Michael Moreshi. Zachary Scott Orr, hooded by Bill Kyatt. Natalie Diane Tiffany K. Panther, hooded by Michael Lamy. China Jave Pouncey, hooded by Donald Hudson. Jessica Garrison Regal, hooded by Nathan Tingler. Grace Elizabeth Reynolds, hooded by Michael Lamy. Facundo Daniel Sonari Garcia, hooded by Michael Lamy. James Richard Tinsley, hooded by Bill Kyatt. Christopher Patrick Usher, hooded by Cameron Cook. Brandon Michael Wade, hooded by Michael Lamy. Trey Alexander Williams, hooded by Bill Kyatt. Ryan Taylor Willis, hooded by Michael Lamy. Zion Latone Wilson, hooded by Chris Hatch. At this time, we will recognize the bachelor's candidates. Ethan David Abraham, hooded by Vance Reese. Charlene Casey Anderson, hooded by Austin Soto. Savannah Marie Anderson, hooded by Michael Moreshi. Nicole Esther Arroyo, hooded by Juan Mascaro Jr. Elizabeth Rose Osiello, hooded by Courtney Morgan. Chloe Madison Banner, hooded by Lisa Boucher. Ethan Scott Beamish, hooded by Tae-Woo Kim. Anthony Lamar Belcher II, hooded by Charles Eckenbarger. Anthony Ryan Bell, hooded by Kristen Hewitt. Yoliza Buchman, hooded by Courtney Morgan. Christopher Alexander Benz, hooded by Sarah Mavidi. Nicole Elizabeth Bradbury, hooded by Ken McCleskey. Jalen Anthony Brown, hooded by Stacy Workman. Abigail Grace Callahan, hooded by Chad Holt. Jaden Blaze Carnes, hooded by Taewoo Kin. Zane Todd Caudle, hooded by Mitch Radford. Caitlin Rose Connerly, hooded by Stacy Workman. Rachel Emmeline Cook, hooded by Sean Parrish. Summer Cassidy Christ, hooded by Sarah Mavidi. Emma Rose Demkovich, hooded by Stacy Workman. Mia Rose Diaz, hooded by Kyle Lusk. Sergio Diaz Gonzalez, hooded by Kyle Rakow. Maya Kristen Dixon, hooded by Stacy Workman. Hayden Paul Domingo, hooded by Stacy Workman. Richard Maxwell Shogri Dorman, hooded by Stacy Workman. Kaui Dos Santos, hooded by L. Diana. Adam Edward Douglas, hooded by Jenny Kafsky. Kylie Lynn Draper, hooded by Betsy Burrows. Caleb Ian Duncan, hooded by Laura Walker Andrews. Catherine Elise Ellison, hooded by Robert Dye. Lexus Victoria English, hooded by Chad Holt. Matthew Thomas Evans, hooded by Cole Hairston. David Logan Ewing, hooded by Kevin Phillips. Andrew Michael Feringer, hooded by Kevin Phillips. William Jackson Finney, hooded by Sam Eastridge. Christine Keever Freeman, hooded by Adam Mills. Chelsea Sarah Freitag, hooded by Lisa Boucher. Jonathan Braxton Germany, hooded by Michael Moreshi. Brianna Renee Goff, hooded by David Lackey. Pearson Joshua Gordon, hooded by Josh Andrews. Gavin Paul Grant, hooded by Cameron Cook. Gianluca Graziano, hooded by Cole Hairston. Eliza Joy Greenwell, hooded by David Gresham. Obadiah Benjamin Grimes, hooded by Michael Moreshi. Olivia Danielle Guillermo, hooded by Sally Riggin. Amberlynn Marilee Hernandez, hooded by Michael Moreshi. Anne Marie Herring, hooded by Heather Cobb. Charlie J. Hester, hooded by Lee Burgess. Josie Rose Hester, hooded by Donald Hudson. Evelyn Virginia Higdon, hooded by Abby Toot. Alexandra Hunter Hill, hooded by Kristen Rosato. Christian David Hobson, hooded by Stacy Workman. Cameron Rutledge Holbert, hooded by Laura Walker Andrews. Elizabeth Rose Hornfeck, hooded by David Lackey. Caven Horton, hooded by Kevin Phillips. David Arthur Hoyle, hooded by Ani Pond. Zoe Lynn Hughes, hooded by Charles Eckenbarger. Olivia Marie Hyde, hooded by Erasme Ueze. Tiffin Della Marie Jacobs, hooded by Jernelle Radford. Thad Pierce Johnston Jr., hooded by James Everett. Kylie Lane Kocher, hooded by Marie Jones. Gage Philip Kyatt, hooded by Bill Kyatt. Andre Richard Kiley, hooded by Michael Moreshi. Antonio King Jr., hooded by Christy Bauman. Brianna Sky Landman, hooded by Kayla Landman. Mickey Noe Lasco, hooded by Elise Benzel. Kelly Lee Min Lawson, hooded by Cameron Austin. Evelise Suzanne Layton, hooded by Cameron Austin. Matthew Johannes Lelleveld, hooded by Bradford Purley. Olive Hope Leonardi, hooded by David Lackey. Brody Wyatt Lindsay, hooded by Michael Moreshi. Emily Jordan Long, hooded by Jesse Tucker. Mackenzie Lynn Lozano, hooded by Hernan Biava. Angelina Marie Martino, hooded by Jordan Cook. Addie Marsh McAllister, hooded by Charles Eckenbarger. Gavin Grant McCoy, hooded by Cameron Cook. Jamari Davion Mike McDaniel, hooded by Donald Hudson. Olivia Shea Miller, hooded by Donald Hudson. Martine Mogel Aguilar, hooded by Jordan Cook. Ellen Victoria Mullins, hooded by Catherine Gresham. Aguilar Aparecido Oliveira, hooded by Debbie Dana. Emerson Russell Peck, hooded by Lisa Boucher. Braden Christopher Perez, hooded by Heather Cobb. Bryce Allen Peterson, hooded by Brenner Woodcock. Roxanne Anastasia Petrashak, hooded by Abby Toot. Skylar Elizabeth Pettibone, hooded by Robert Dye. Kayla Maureen Philbrick, hooded by Allison Comiskey. Kimber Bailey Phillips, hooded by Sean Parrish. Owen Lewis Plusser, hooded by Sam Eastridge. Ariel Lynn Podlagar, hooded by Erasme Ueze. Kiernan Sean Ponder, hooded by Sam Eastridge. Chiara Lucienne Porcelli, hooded by Courtney Morgan. Bailey Clyde Ramey, hooded by Juwan Owens. Christina Alexis Roan, hooded by Donald Hudson. Haley Kyra Wright Riddle, hooded by August Nye. Rowan Quinn Roberts, hooded by Adam Mills. Seth Orion Gage Robinson, hooded by Kristen Hewitt. Edalee Lilicoy Rose, hooded by Allison Comiskey. Logan James Sawyer, hooded by Rachel Hillier. Khan Kenan Sinturk, hooded by Heather Cobb. Gregory Winton Simmons Jr., hooded by Cameron Cook. Nathaniel Caden Sivan Simon, hooded by Jenny Kafsky. Imani Janae Singleton, hooded by Sarah Mavidi. Alfredo Sixtos Rodriguez, hooded by Sarah Mavidi. Sebasti Ann Smith, hooded by Dilshad Posnock. Matthew Ian Smith, hooded by Lisa Boucher. Hannah Faith Sonnenberg, hooded by Cole Hairston. Logan Charles Southern, hooded by Angie Mascaro. Jack Spencer Spots, hooded by Sylvia Parisi. Marcella Mache Rose Steele, hooded by Quentin Overrocker. Avalon Elizabeth Sweet, hooded by Isaias Maldonado Figueroa. Victoria Rose Sylvester, hooded by Michael Moreshi. Mateus Tenure Arejo Mateus, hooded by Charles Eckenbarger. Henry Boykin Tart, hooded by Sean Parrish. Reginald Leon Taylor II, hooded by Bill Kyatt. Signa Ann Thorson, hooded by Mel Bringle. Elizabeth Grace Seegers Tinsley, hooded by Sarah Maviti. Tristan Wynn Troutman, hooded by Jordan Cook. Jackson Alexandria to Mickey, hooded by Erasme Ueze. Mary Grace Valentine, hooded by Abby Whitaker. Ian Baker Waldrop, hooded by Austin Soto. Abigail Maeve Waldrop, hooded by Gabrielle Gavan. Lauren Grace Ward, hooded by Betsy Burrows. Noah Lee Westbrook, hooded by Michael Moreshi. Liliana Reyes White, hooded by Scott Douglas. Jackson Khalil Wilkerson, hooded by Mitch Radford. Caitlin DeHeaven Lee Wynn, hooded by Laura Walker Andrews. Joy Morad Halmi Mukrum Youssef, hooded by Chad Holt. Michaela Elise Zwecken, hooded by Cameron Austin.
please refer to your program and join me in reading aloud in unison a prayer for graduates. The Franciscan Benediction from the African American Lectionary. May God bless you with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, superficial relationships, so that you may live deep within your heart. May God bless you with righteous indignation at injustice, oppression, and exploitation of people, so that you may work for justice, freedom, and peace. May God bless you with tears to shed for those who suffer from pain, rejection, starvation, and war, so that you may reach out your hand to comfort them and to turn their pain into joy. May God bless you with enough foolishness to believe that you can make a difference in this world, so that you can do what others claim cannot be done.
Now let us stand for our benediction. Now as you stand, may you and I be blessed beyond our wildest imaginations. Blessed by a source that we don't fully know. Blessed that that source moves with us and guides us and enlivens us. Go being blessed with your head held high, knowing we can face now and tomorrow. Amen.